Hello, how's everyone doing? Hope you had a good Sunday. The thing about this is about friends and single friends. Will they keep you single or will they cause you problems in your relationship? And the answer is yes, it could. And it depends on your friend and your relationship, and there's different nuances that goes along with it. But we're gonna talk about what possibly could happen. Okay. Now, the biggest thing is one, you really should try to keep your relationship to yourself. Because, like I like to say, everybody outside the door is not going to be for you, the ones that are inside the door, which means those outside will cause problems on the inside. So why would you let that outside influence, wreck your home or your relationship or your peace, whatever you want to call it? Okay. Now, you've heard the saying, ladies especially, single women will keep women single. Okay. And I'm pretty sure most of us know what that means. Because trust me, you have some single friends that are no good. And this may sting a little bit. And for you, the ones that actually don't have a problem with it are the ones you probably can trust. Now, the ones that are scandalous or will stab you in the back, those are ones you need to keep your eye on. And they do exist, men and women. Okay. You have friends from a male perspective. We try to limit our exposure to our woman, not women, our woman. Okay. Because, and ladies, pay attention. You're sharing information about your relationship and how she cooks this and, she rubs your feet or whatever, and that's appealing to a lot of other men. And trust me, the way the dating market is, if a dude hear that, he's gonna be like, well, shit, he ain't treating her right. I'm gonna wait for him to make a false move or a misstep, and I'm gonna be in her ear. Yeah, you don't need him, let him go. I could do a lot better. I can make you happy, and all these other things. It happens, and those that it happened to, you know exactly what I mean. Okay, ladies, don't be going around to your friends and say, "Ooh, girl, he knocked my back out. He put it down. He bought me this nice Chanel bag or whatever. Took me on a nice trip. We had fun. Everything I wanted to do, he did for me. He would treat me to. You see where I'm going with this? You make the man so appealing, and there is loyalty and there is some disloyal, and it'd be like, okay, she's my friend. She might be my friend for 6 or 7 years, but I can have this kind of treatment for the rest of my life. You know, like I said, most people with integrity wouldn't even consider it. But being at the dating scene is very difficult now, and it's hard one way or the other. People might take that chance, and risk losing a friend for a relationship. You know, because when you think about it, it's all really a competition. Okay, ladies, you're out there trying to compete for the y'all know what it is, the high value man, a high earning man that's making six figures and more, and you got a 20 to 1, ratio, women to men in that category. So you got to step your game up. Because to sit there and say, well, I like this, and first of all, this is where it goes back to looks. Because if it's 20 to 1, trust me, out of those other 19, hell, 10 or more look better than you do, finer than you are, have a job, want to work, all the negative things that you don't want to do or refuse to do, they may be willing to do. Okay? So to sit there and say, I can get any man I want, no. Uh, we know that you control sex because you can say yes or no. Okay, but relationships, in order to have a relationship or get married, we have to sign off on it. Okay, period. Okay, you can say, well, I want this and I'm going to get this, but that's not your call. That's our call. Okay, and getting back to your single friends, I mean, Okay, I know you're excited. You know, you may have finally found a good man or whatever, and you want to tell your closest friend. Now, you better make damn sure that's your closest friend and she can be trusted 120%. Because, like I said, the more you open your mouth, the more her eyes open. Okay, and if she see you doing dirt, and trust me, it happens more than people think. And she likes the guy and think the guy is real nice or whatever, don't deserve that kind of treatment. Don't think she's not gonna go behind your back and tell him. Okay, and here's a prime example. Say I'm walking down the street, see two young ladies, and I see one that piques my interest. I start talking to her. Now, if the other friend was interested as well, she got two choices: step back or sit there and say, "Girl, come on, I don't know why you're talking to him. You know we got things to do." But if I had approached her first, she'd have been all in. You know, so you have to watch those ones that are sitting there trying to, you know, get you to move away or whatever. Because one, they're already jealous of the person talking to you first, and I'm sure it happened more than once. Okay, so that you need to be careful about. The second thing is, like I said, quit running your mouth, telling all your business or whatever. You know, I mean, one, it's not smart. Two, your personal life is your personal life. There are certain things that between a man and a woman you shouldn't share with your friends. I know I wouldn't like it. Okay, and like I said, you open up a whole can of worms and a possibility of using your man to the right woman. Now that being said, another thing is, oh girl, let's go on this fields trip, girls trip. We're gonna go to Vegas or whatever for 3 or 4 days. Well, I need to talk to my man. You don't need to talk to him. What, you got to check in or whatever? Don't let that end to run your life. You grown. You do what you want to do. All that. Okay. Now you can be stupid if you want to. Like I said, I wouldn't stop you from going. I'm like, okay, that's what you want to do. Okay. I disagree with it, and here's why. Now, if you choose to go, okay, then your choice. Like we say, choices and consequences. And here's the consequence. When you come back, I hope you got room, your girlfriend got room for you, because that's where you're going to be. Especially if I am spending my money putting a roof over your head, and if I'm a stepfather, taking care of your children, and you going to run off with your friends, okay, and leave me with all that responsibility? No. And y'all know it happens. Or you go out there and you want to sit there and sleep with every guy, get your body count up or whatever, then you want to come bring some bullshit home to me, or a disease or whatever. Why should I allow that? Why should I buy into that? Okay. Like I said, I wouldn't raise hell. I just have your shit sitting outside. Okay. And if you have children, that's even worse, to pick up and go with your friends. So your friends may not have children. They might have somebody babysitting or whatever, or family members. But even that being said, that's not their responsibility. It's yours. Okay? And there's no way in hell you can tell me that's the right thing to do because your friends want to go, and you're going to jump up, go on a trip, taking money out of this household. You go hang out with your friends, but yet you leave your kids with me. Or even if you leave your kids with your family. Now, if I sign up for the responsibility, why are you taking them to your family? Okay. See, it doesn't make sense either way. Okay. And your single friend's not going to care. Okay. They're really not. So how can you call your friends if they're sitting there in one ear saying, girl, you need to come on, go on this trip, and leave him alone. He can do the woo, 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 all this. Okay. Get him out your ear. Misery loves company. Okay. Oh, yeah, you'll have a good time. You might have the time of your life. But reality sets in when you come back and you've lost everything. What I mean by everything, you lost a relationship, you lost a good man. Okay. Are your friends worth it? Okay. That's just like being a married woman and you want to go on a girls' trip. Okay. You want to get away. You need space. Should have never got married. Okay. There's no where in any wedding vows they say, "Oh yeah, I love you. I want to be with you." Love, honor, cherish. Of course, they took out obey or whatever, and the flexibility to go on girls trip whenever I want with no consequences. I don't remember hearing that, seeing it anywhere. Okay, so if you are silly enough to let your friends talk you into doing that, okay, be prepared because any strong man worth his salt is not going to put up with that. Okay, if we allow it once, you're going to do it again. Okay, you're going to think it's okay. Now, if I say, all right, go ahead, do whatever, then I can't blame even if I disagree with it, I can't blame anyone but myself because I didn't say anything. Okay, so I can't have my lips sticking out when you come back. Okay, and most men that are secure in who they are and not worry about it, and y'all like to say, oh, they insecure, this or whatever. No, sometimes we see things you don't see. Okay, and what I mean by that is, well, it's like we use Vegas. Okay, you got a girl's trip to Vegas for 3-4 days or whatever. You leave it on Thursday. Now, I've heard a situation where the woman didn't even tell him. Hey, call me on or text him. I'm in Vegas. I'll be back Monday. Okay. Or even worst case, you say you want to get away. The man agrees to it, pays for your plane ticket, gives you money for the hotel or whatever. Okay. And you go out there and cheat. Or you're sitting there, you're not cheating, but you're twerking, or you're doing inappropriate things. What I mean by the inappropriate, if you do anything that you wouldn't do in front of your boyfriend or your husband or whatever, twerking, whatever you want to call it, that's inappropriate. Okay, if you're all up in a guy's face or whatever, he's buying you drinks or whatever, or y'all just sitting there talking, or you go to his hotel room, even if you don't do anything, it's inappropriate. Okay? Single friends will lead you astray. Okay? Men, on the other hand, man, you ain't got to take him, once you put your big boy drawers on, come hang out with us. Now, what sense that make for me? One, I don't need to be in the club. Okay? When I chose to settle down and pick the one, why am I in the club? Okay? Now, if you go on a happy hour or whatever, that's all fine. But when the booty shaking start or whatever, my opinion, your ass should be at home. Okay? And it's not about temptation. It's not about being able to restrain yourself. Okay? It's about respect. Okay? Plain and simple. You wouldn't like your girl rubbing all on a man or whatever, all of the man faces. You think she's gonna like you all in a woman's face, buying drinks or whatever, letting them rub all on you? No, that's not fair. It's not right. Okay? Yes, it does happen, but that doesn't make it right. Okay? Going to strip clubs. Why? One, you're wasting money that you could be using for something else, bills, trips, whatever. And if you're in a damn strip club every week, you better be single. Okay? That's all I'm saying, because no married man should be going to a strip club every week. One, you're taking money out of the mouth of your family, or bills or clothes or recreational things like trips and things like that, going to the movies. Oh, I don't have any money. I threw $100. I made a sprinkle a little bit. I ain't have enough to make it rain, so I just made a sprinkle. Okay, good luck with that. All right. Now, ladies, same for you. Y'all go in strip clubs or whatever, you're shelling out money to these dudes or whatever, and let them get sweaty balls all on you or whatever. And God knows I've seen videos where y'all do more than that. Okay. Well, the problem with that is you're taking a risk physically, okay? Going out there and doing something. And if you sleep with this guy or whatever, you don't have enough time to get tested or anything like that. And the possibility you bring home something to the man, I mean, that could go very wrong and turn in violent, which I don't, like I said, violence, I don't agree with. I don't condone it. But I can see where you push to the edge or whatever. especially if you got herpes or AIDS or something like that, God forbid, from your woman that you love or whatever, and she went out and did this and brought it back to you. I'm sorry, that'd be a hard one to swallow, you know. Now, I'm trying to help you ladies, whereas, yeah, your single friend's gonna say, oh, that old bastard full of shit, he don't know what he's talking about or whatever. And I'm telling you, your true friends, they'll be the ones that say, yeah, girl, there's some truth to it. You have some friends like that. I just didn't want to say anything or whatever. There are women like that. There are men like that. I've known men that where they sit there and say, "Oh yeah, man, you should talk to her." Prime example, man, I was going to talk to her, but you got. Well, wait a minute. She chose me, so why you got a problem with me? And from that moment on, that man has an issue with you because in his mind, that's the woman he wanted to try to have a relationship with her or get to know her. And you blocked him or stepped in the way, so he's going to feel a certain kind of way. And that's the one you'd have to keep your eye on. Okay. I know for a fact that's happened to me. So-called friend, and we have a code. If you're with a woman and it doesn't work out or you break up or whatever, your true friends do not date her. Okay? They not talk to her, they not whatever. They don't cross that boundary. True friends, acquaintances, associates, and that's what I call them. They will screw you over. They will cross that line. They will be telling, first of all, if you're being loyal, you don't have to worry about it. But if you're not, you can rest assured your so-called friends is sending texts or calls or carrier pigeons to your girl saying, hey, we out here such and such. You want to catch him, come on out here. Okay? And she won't tell it's him. Oh, yeah, I got me a good source of information. So, men, stop that. Okay, it's hard enough as it is. Okay? And good friends are hard to come by. I keep my circle very small. Very small. Okay? Now, ladies, I understand y'all more outgoing or whatever you have, but a person you meet and know for a week or two, that's not your friend. That's an associate. That's an acquaintance. Okay? It takes a good bit of time to build relationships, to build friendships. You can't arbitrarily say this is my friend. Okay? Because then if something happens or they betray you, well, that's your fault because you chose to call it your friend. Okay? Now, like I said, a true friend will sit there and when you are about to make a mistake, oh, girl, I ain't going nowhere with this man and blah, 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 things ain't working out. She would say, well, wait a minute, think it through. Maybe he's in a bad patch or whatever. She'll try to help you weigh your options, and the best course of action for your heart. Okay. And a good friend won't lead you astray. Okay. Won't try to come in once you're on the rocks or whatever, or try to push you over the edge to make you do something stupid where you lose your man. Okay. And then you looking crossways because you go to Walmart and you see her and him with him, he pushing a golf cart and she all up in his face holding his arm. Now whose fault is it? Yeah, your friend shouldn't have crossed that line, but ultimately it's your fault. If you push that man away, okay, there's nothing to say he can't date who he want to. Now, I wouldn't want to date somebody's friend, okay? Because that never turns out right. One, they're shooing back and forth. Girl, he giggles like this, he loves to have his feet rubbed like this, or, he's like his food cooked like this. No, there's too much interaction going back and forth, trying to compare notes. That's never gonna work right. Okay, you're not gonna have peace because you're gonna all be, well, she did it like this. Can you do this? Or, you see where I'm going with that? Okay. Now, on the other hand, a true friend, like I said, will sit there and stop you from making silly mistakes. You know, going out to clubs or whatever, staying out 3 o'clock. First of all, of course, all these are my opinion. You don't go out to no club and staying out 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and you were in a relationship, or you, especially if you're married. Really, no married women should be out there 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. Why? You got a husband, you got a family at home, okay? And if you're tired of being in that situation, then get out. But understand, you only have two choices. You walk away from the marriage, okay? The children go with you, or they stay with me, okay? Period. You can't have it both ways. You can't just say, "Well, I'm walking away. I'm just walking away from everything." Okay, you can do that. With that choice, you're gonna have a consequence. Okay. Now, what it is, I don't know. But I heard this one story where this woman was married. She had 2 kids, I believe it was, and she wasn't happy in the marriage. So she got a divorce and realized that 80% of divorces are filed by women. Okay, so what does that tell you? You're either not loyal or you're always looking for the next best thing. Okay, because the first thing you say, well, the man was toxic. Now, if it's abuse, get out. No and if or buts about it. Okay? But to sit there and say he was toxic, why is it always the man that's toxic? Maybe it's your ass. Okay? Now, he ain't making enough money. Okay, well, what's wrong with you? Okay. Now I do believe that, but not every man can make 6 figures. Okay. There are some people, they're built to be middle income, middle class people. No matter what they do, that's just their niche in life. Okay. 45 to $50,000. It's not a bad living, especially if you have someone going in with you, picking up the slack. Okay, and that reminds me about, people talking about 50-50. Yes, bills can be 50-50. You know, things around the house can be 50-50, but mostly financially. But in a relationship or a marriage, it's 100%. It takes 100% from both of y'all to make it work. Okay? Now, if you both have 100% in or whatever, 50-50 is not going to matter. Okay? And the reason why I know you're both in 100%, because not one of y'all have the balls to say, well, when we get married, I'm going to quit working. Well, we better be rich. Because if I'm taking my ass every morning to go to work, then pay attention to that sign that's over the door. All those who enter that are not minors will be gainfully employed. That's a sign. It's up there. Look. Okay? Because no man or no woman should have all that responsibility on them. It's stressful. It's hard. Okay? And when you get married, you're supposed to be a partnership. And people like to say, well, I could be a helpmate, for my soulmate. Well, how the hell are you a helpmate as soon as you get married, you want to quit? How are you helping me? Okay, children. Okay, after a while, when they start going to daycare, okay, that's another bill. How are you helping me and you staying at home? Okay. Now, your single friends will contribute to that too. Girl, you need to leave him. Find you a better man. Find you a man and making some money. Okay? And that never really works out because who's to say the man with money gonna want your ass? Okay? Y'all need to understand that when you get older, when you have children and you were married and you walk away from that man and you got 2 children or 3 children. Now, if it's by the same man, okay, your eyes go up a little bit. But still, you have 4 mouths, that's 3 in you, okay? And you expect a man that if he making 6 figures, because a man that's making $40,000 or $50,000 cannot afford to have 4 extra miles. Can't do it. It's damn near impossible, especially when you're talking about not working. No, no, there's no way. Mathematically, it does not work. Financially, it does not work. Now, if that man, even if he's making six figures and above, okay, that still would be hard to do. If you have three children, you and him, you need to be making, especially if they're going to go to private school, you're going to have a nanny and all that, 2.25, 2.5. And that's just to be actually comfortable, not really comfortable. You know, you'll be on the borderline because you're going to have a house, you know, 2 cars, insurance, utilities, 5, 6 miles to feed. Okay. And children are always hungry, especially if they're going out and playing and coming back in, snacks and stuff. Ladies. And then you got your single friend over there and say, you can go find somebody else that's better than him, you know? Okay. 6 figures. If you're working together, you're making 6 figures. If y'all both making 50 apiece. Okay. That's a nice living. No, you're not going to be rich. It's a nice living. It's middle class living. Okay. Now, you making 50, but you want to make a man get a man that's making 200. Okay. What are you offering? Your looks. Okay. A lot of pretty women have shitty attitudes. Not all, but the ones that sit there and say, "Look at me, you know, you have some eye candy on your arm." Motherfucker, eye candy don't buy shit. You know, damn sure don't pay any bills. So you're a pretty bum. You're laying up there sponging off me, and I can't discipline your children. I can't talk to your children. And then on top of that, you got your single friend over there raising hell, and I'm, you know, in my house. And instead of putting her ass out, you're like, well, she can stay here. Or you sit there, your single friend, somebody, girl, let's get your man to pay for dinner. Let's go to dinner. You tell him, hey, I'd like for you to, you know, take me to Red Lobster, whatever. And her ass walking, I can't believe he bring you to Red Lobster. You could have went somewhere else. You know, I'm going to order a steak, prime rib, and a lobster tail with some with a pina colada or margarita. He paying for it. Yeah, okay. I ain't even gonna say I'm going to the bathroom. I'm just saying I ain't paying for shit and get up and walk out. Okay. And you and your single friends could be talking about, well, he broke and all this other stuff. You know what's gonna happen? You're gonna be with their ass, and then you're gonna be complaining. Whereas, you know, why did I listen to her? You know, I don't get it. Do not let your single friends keep you single. You know, some married women are toxic to their friends. Girl, that's not my husband do. My husband blah blah blah, and I tell him to do this or whatever, and he do whatever I tell him to do. Okay, now realize that's one side of the story. That's her telling you that. Don't necessarily mean it's true. And it might be a fact that this man is like, you know what, I'm getting tired of this or whatever, and the next thing you know, she's out on the streets. And you don't listen to her, now your ass out on the street. Does that make sense? Would you jeopardize your relationship or your marriage because your friend said this is how she do? Like I said, there's always 2 sides to every story. So he can tell you whatever. Okay? Now, whatever choice you decide, be prepared for the consequence. Okay? It could be a lot easier. Y'all make it more difficult than it is. If I tell you this is what I want, don't turn around and tell me, well, this is what I heard, or this is what you said. Hell, I can think for myself. So if I'm telling you what I want, don't turn around and tell me that's what I want. Or tell me this is what I heard. Well, you may need to get your hearing checked. Okay. So the thing is, keep your single friends out of your relationship, out of your marriage. And you know, there may be some discussion on this and disagreement or whatever. You know, sometimes single friends are not good for married people. Okay. And I'm not saying that's the case in every situation, but it does happen. Okay. Now, I'm not saying you got to get rid of your single friends once you become married. That's not what I'm saying. But the ones that you know are toxic and really don't, you know, like you being married, and and if they had a chance to roll the reverse and be in your place, trust me, there are also women out there that you're sitting there running your mouth about your marriage or the relationship. They're looking for ways to get in, and they will be more than happy to take your place if you're stupid enough to let them. So don't put yourself in that position, ladies, guys. Start looking. I'm not saying get rid of your friends, but I'm saying pay attention. And I guarantee you might have one or two that you let slip through the crack you wasn't paying attention to. And if you start, noticing little things, you'll see, damn, his old ass was right again. So I hope this helped you. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you soon. Love you.